A lot of local governments are just, well, they're stuck. They're often locked into these old, super expensive mapping software systems that just aren't keeping up. So today, we're going to walk through a modern playbook designed to help you break free. It's a really practical way to build something more flexible, more powerful, and way more collaborative for your whole community. If you work in local government, this question probably hits home. You rely on geographic data for literally everything, from public works to city planning. But the software itself, it's often this frustrating, costly bottleneck. The good news? There's a much smarter way forward. So this big push to modernize, it's not just about chasing the latest shiny tech. Not at all. It's a direct response to some very real and honestly mounting pressures that pretty much all municipalities are facing right now. And these pressures are all tangled up together, right? You're being asked to slash those recurring software costs and get out from under the thumb of a single vendor. But at the same time, you have to provide more access to data for your staff, for the council, for the public. And the real kicker? You have to do all of that without causing a massive operational headache. It's a tough spot to be in. So with all those competing demands pulling you in different directions, what's the actual answer? Well, it's not about ripping everything out and starting from scratch. No way. It's about being strategic and embracing a whole new kind of GIS ecosystem. The solution really is a hybrid and open approach. This gives you all the powerful enterprise-level tools and workflows you already depend on, but, and this is the key part, with a much, much lower total cost of ownership, and without that dreaded vendor lock-in. It's really about being smarter with your resources, not just newer with your tech. Okay, so how does this actually work in the real world? The easiest way to think about it is like two specialized tools working in perfect harmony. You've got one for all the heavy lifting and one for sharing the results with everybody who needs to see them. First up, you have QGIS. This is your professional desktop engine. It's the absolute powerhouse where your experts, your planners, your engineers, your GIS analysts do all the deep technical work. This is where the advanced editing and complex spatial analysis happens. And then you've got yey'maps. This is your cloud-based collaboration layer. So once all that complex work is done in QGIS, yey'maps makes it super simple to share that information. We're talking intuitive web maps, managing who gets to see what, and even creating public-facing portals for transparency. This quote right here just nails the whole idea. QGIS is where the detailed expert work happens. In yey'maps, that's where all those results get shared, governed, and actually put into action across the organization and out to the public. One is for creation, the other is for communication. Simple as that. Okay, I get it. The whole idea of changing systems can feel, well, risky and disruptive. It's a huge concern. But this approach is specifically designed to tackle that fear head-on with a really practical, phased roadmap that always keeps you in the driver's seat. And here's the most important part. There is no big bang shutdown. You do not have to flip a switch and turn off your old system on day one. In fact, this whole plan is built for a parallel transition where both systems run side by side. This lets you minimize risk and build confidence every step of the way. It's a 4-phase journey. You start with read-only liberation, which is just about making your data more accessible. Easy first step. Then you move into dual-stack operations, running both systems together to build skills. After that, you start functional substitution, replacing specific workflows where it makes sense. And only then, way down the road, do you even consider a full strategic exit, which, by the way, is totally optional. It's that classic crawl, walk, run strategy. You know what's so great about this approach? You get an immediate payoff. I mean, just in phase 1 alone, you instantly reduce the pressure on those expensive viewer licenses, and you score some really nice early transparency wins. By phase 2, your staff is already getting valuable experience with the new tools, and you're getting real-world data on how it all works. Value arrives from day 1, not months or years down the road. So once you're on this path, what does the bigger picture really look like? Let's zoom out a bit to the long-term vision and see what this kind of change actually means for the key decision makers in your organization. If you're the finance director, the message is pretty compelling. This is a direct path to reducing those significant recurring license fees that just eat away at your budget year after year. And it's all done without pulling the rug out from under daily operations. Now, for the IT department, this is huge. It means moving to a world of open standards and clear APIs. You get to say goodbye to being locked into proprietary data formats or those vendor black boxes. You gain data sovereignty, better security, and a modern, future-proof architecture. And for your elected officials and, of course, the public, the benefits are really tangible. We're talking greater transparency through public data portals, easier access to information, and building the foundation you need for the modern digital services that citizens just expect these days. So, how do you actually get started? It's surprisingly simple. First, you identify one or two important high-visibility datasets, something like zoning maps or property parcels. Then, you publish them using yey'maps. You introduce QGIS to a small group of your power users, and you run a focused 90-day pilot. It's a really low-risk, high-reward way to prove the concept in your own environment. And that really brings us to the final and most crucial question. Just imagine for a second, freeing up all that budget, empowering your staff with better tools, and delivering more transparent services to your citizens. What new possibilities could you unlock for your community with a GIS that's truly open, modern, and built for the future?